I have. I have the meeting ID is 335-821-573. Malo, Malo is out of the office today, and so I don't know which one she sent out previously before she left, but I'm here, and you're here, and that's all that's important, right? The recording has started. I'm going to mute everybody, so hang on a second. *5. All right, you're muted. So I feel sorry for those that don't have the webinar. I do encourage you to go to the GoToMeeting webinar because one, you can see me youthing. Now I use that term seriously. You'll hear people talking about how it is part of life. It is part of the human condition that we, from the day we're born, we are aging. Well, I defy that belief, and I am youthing. I'm not aging, I am youthing. And that's why I am here to be a testament and a proof. So you taking the products, that means that you're youthing as well. So we're going to go over some stuff tonight. It's not going to be a long meeting like it was last time. I'm sorry to wear you out on those long meetings, but you know, sometimes it's necessary. Some quick business. I encourage you to go to the YouTube page. You got an email blast. I recommend that you check your emails frequent, and for our frequency of the emails that we send out. And there's one that encourages you to go to a link. I saw one from Merv that sent out to everybody, encouraging you to go to the YouTube channel. In his email, there's a link that takes you directly to it. And if you subscribe to that, on that page, to the 3 Believe YouTube page, you'll be notified by email every time we post a new one. So we'll be posting, we posted a whole bunch over last weekend. We'll be doing a bunch more as well, and it'll just keep on going. So we will have a more sophisticated system, kind of like your search engine on your computer, that you type in a keyword, and it'll pull up several videos that will pertain to what it thinks that you're looking for. It'll also have a topical guide, a reference sheet based on topic that you can then click to and check out documents and videos. And my goal is to keep the videos no more than 10 minutes long. And that's so that you don't fall asleep, and 2, I can keep your attention span. And then when you send it out to people, you can rest assured that I won't go long-winded, because one thing that if you've ever met me, that is an absolute, I never have a short answer for a short question. I'm sorry. I try. I've gone to therapy. I've had professionals all over the world work on me for that, to overcome that weakness, but holy cow, I just can't seem to break it. So, but I shall not give up. I'll keep it, in most cases, down to 10 minutes or less per video. So I encourage you to go and subscribe to our page. Another thing is, let's talk about one email that I got that talks about ketosis. Now, we're trying to be in ketosis. Last week, I talked about the dangers of being in ketoacidosis and how it does not relate or nor the same thing as ketosis. They're entirely different. I am just finalizing the paper, making sure all the references are correct, and I'll send that out to you so that you could pass it on to your analytical and medical friends so that they too can feel confident that we know what we're talking about and that ketosis is not the same as ketoacidosis. Now, a topic that came up today, however, is how do you tell if you're in ketosis? And the use of keto strips. So I will tell you that keto strips can be effective, but only for about the first 5 or 6 days. Then they're not effective. I don't recommend that you use them because they will make you frustrated, and they'll make you think that you're not in ketosis when you followed the plan exactly, and it says that you're not in ketosis, and you're like throwing up your arms going, what? What am I doing this for then if I'm not in fat burning mode? Let me tell you why the keto strips are not accurate after about 5 days. There are actually 3, and if you remember, I told you that there are 3 different types or classifications of ketones. Those keto strips are measuring the relative beta-hydroxybutyrate ketone. That's one of the 3 that's in your bloodstream. And it's measuring the ketones that you haven't used yet. That's why it's coming out in your urine. For those of you who don't know, the keto strips are just little strips of paper. They're like a heavy fiber paper or a high cotton paper, and you run it through your stream of urine, and then you let it sit for a bit, and it'll change color. Then you take that color against the color chart, and that color chart will tell you how far you're in ketosis. Now, they're designed to measure the ketone strips originally are made for to measure the dangers of ketoacidosis. That's what they're for primarily. And they measure a different type of ketone, which is called ACE2 acetate ketone, which is not the same as beta-hydroxybutyrate ketone. I know, sorry, I'm not the one that made up the names for these crazy ketones. The last one, the beta, we'll just shorten it for beta, that's the one that your brain uses. That's the one that your body uses primarily. And so that's how you're burning it off instead of the carbohydrates that you're getting from food. That's the byproduct or the glucose substitute that you get when you burn stored fat. So they're not measuring the same thing, if that makes any sense. So that's why I recommend don't use the strips. Now, I am working with a company that they manufacture these little glucometers that diabetics use to check for their glucose levels. They're really convenient, and they're accurate. And so they have done some testing that they're looking for the right kind of ketone so that we could measure accurately for ketones. So I'm working with them on that. I will not give you a time frame at all because I don't have one. But who knows? Maybe when we're such a big deal, people will just respect us so much that they'll just do anything I ask them to do. Oh, see. I wish my children were that way. So that handles the keto issue. If you have any questions about being ketosis, send it to customer support, and I will answer them as best I can, and I'll go over more detail of the ketones a little later in written format. Now let's go to something else. I want to talk about some requests that Merv made on the review of the blood testing procedure, how to do it, the frequency, and how to interpret it. So I'm not going to go into the procedure of how to take it, because if you go to our YouTube page, there is a page right there of a video of me actually showing you how to perform the test. So go to that. I'm going to refer to that video, and it'll tell you what to do. And then you send it in. Now the frequency is kind of up to you. The tests will run $20 a piece. It's not a commissionable source. It's just for information. And I wouldn't do it more often than about once every 60 days in the beginning, 60 to 90 days, unless you're a diabetic. Then there is an application, a reason why it could be useful information, seeing how you're being more sensitive to insulin as far at the cellular level, less insulin resistant, and your pancreas is being more responsive. So that would be useful. On the other hand, I recommend not using it more often than that. Callie, can you find how to turn off the sound for these other people on GoToMeeting somewhere?
I'm not turned off. Sorry about that.
So anyway, I wanted to talk about the interpretation. The interpretation of that is on our website, I am making a page available that once your data is in, once you send it into the lab, you can then go to your page and it will interpret. It will give you those numbers and it'll just be right on your page. We have that data, we just haven't put it up on your website or on your portion. It won't be for everybody to see, it'll just be for you to see. So that will be the interpretation, and then there we'll have a graph, we'll have an outline so that you can easily understand where your cholesterol should be, where your HDL, your LDL, your triglycerides, what your ratio should be, what your glucose should be, and we'll explain what all the difference of what I just said. So you'll be very informed. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a video on all that stuff. So don't worry about that. It's coming up. The biotest scale was another issue. Why? Get it? The frequency and the interpretation. So why did I make you as a sales rep get the bio kit? Because it's $95. Now understand, I'm not making any money on it. The reason why I chose the two scales that we have as an option is because they're the most accurate that I've been able to find, measured against my InBody 570 scale, which runs about $11,000. It's clinically tested to be, don't do that one, as accurate as the BOD Pod, and which is kind of the gold standard for measuring body fat and body density. And so I gave you a much cheaper version that is as close as accurate as we could get. But why? Well, because a goal not measured is merely a wish. If you start the protocol and then you want to tell people about it because you want to share it with your friends and family, and also you want to use it as a business model, it's not going to mean much to them if they ask you how much did you lose and what was your body fat percentage and how much muscle mass did you end up with, because anyone that's been on a diet and has read a little bit, and as you know, people are getting a lot more educated, a lot more savvy, they're going to ask you stuff like that because it's becoming better, more widespread and more known that most every diet out there touts their claims to fame of weight loss by losing muscle mass, bone density, and dehydration. Well, that's exactly the wrong kind of weight that you should be losing. Well, if you're not measuring those things, how do you know? And so that's why we have the scales, so that you can tell them. Now, I went out the extra measure and said, look, you do this for me because I'm really helping your business. You'll have something that you can share with people because you'll be measuring your numbers weekly. You'll be measuring your body. You'll be measuring your numbers on your scale. You're recording the data, right? Yes. And that too will be available on your website once we build that, where we make that portal available. But I said to you, if you do that, I will give you a credit. All you have to do is sign up 4 people in your first 30 days, which is easy to do with our program, because everyone will see the results within a week or 2 weeks of what you're doing. You won't be able to keep strangers away from asking you about what you're doing, and you'll feel so great that it'll be easy for you to share it. And now with the video that I showed you of the cost effectiveness, which I'll go over again a little bit, there's no reason why they can't be on the protocol, right? And so if you enroll 4 people in the first 30 days, I'll give you a credit of $90, $95, the total cost of the BioKit. So financially, it won't cost you a thing. I'm actually investing to have you have the best tools for building your business. The only thing that you can't use the credit for is your auto ship, which is the shakes and the oil. But everything else, all the other smart foods, you'll get a credit for. That's a great deal. Merry Christmas. Don't worry about sending me a card. I did it for you. So that's one reason. Another reason why I encouraged and even insisted that you get the BioKit if you're going to build a business. For retail customers, I'm not going to make that, though I encourage it, and we'll do the same thing for them. Okay, and put their numbers up on the web page on their account. So the next is the smart foods. Why do we use them? So that you don't go insane in between this time that you're trying to make your body healthy and normal. We all crave the yummy comfort foods that are associated with high fat and high carbohydrates. Now, fats in and of themselves are not the reason why we are fat, if we are, or why we have high cholesterol. It's the combination of unhealthy fats and carbohydrates together at the same meal that causes the problem. Or should I say a high carbohydrate combination with the fat at the same time is the problem. And so the foods are there to be used as a tool, a dietary tool. It's not a cheat. It's not a reason just to be naughty. It's a tool to keep you in the protocol longer, long enough for you to see the results, to have your body be changed. And isn't that the secret of any dietary program, is to have you stay there long enough so that you get a benefit. People quit because they just can't stand the diet anymore. They're going in crazy. They can't eat kale chips and water soup anymore. They just go nuts. And so how you'll order those foods, it will be on your webpage. You'll order each one. You can actually make it part of your auto ship if you want, which we've dubbed as your auto delivery, when that's up. Now, in the meantime, you can just call in or you email to customer support what smart foods you want. Now, I would be a little organized and try to order the smart foods in conjunction with your monthly delivery, your auto delivery of your powder and your oil. That way we can ship it all together one time and save on shipping. And then it all comes together. So that's how you'd get the food until it's available on the website. So let's talk about the website. The website has been merged. I told you about merging it with the back office with the front office. Front office is kind of the pretty ordering, you know, the site that looks good and cool and talks about the product and all the wow factor, and then the back office is how you conduct your business and you see your downline and you check your progress. And merging those together is just harder than it sounds. So those have been merged. We're beta testing those, and you know, a couple of bugs here. There's lines of code. Of any of you that have ever done anything with computers, when they talk about lines of code, all that is just interpreting languages that tells the computer step by step what to do. And there's tons of, I mean, there's literally thousands of lines of code. It's not a job I'd want to have. And so we're sorting through all that data, making sure that that's working right. However, even though that we think we got it right, we will send it out still during the pre-launch and have you vet it. I'm going to ask you when it's available, I want you to try and break it. The words that every child wants to hear from their parent. I want you to try to break it, because I don't want to break it when we go live, right? I want you to break it before then. So that means you click on this and then you click on that button and you click on this button in combination with this service. And so find a little, just explore, go crazy when that site's available. And we are so close. I've been working with them hours today. So we'll make more great progress tomorrow. I wanted to show you some images tonight, but they just weren't quite ready. We're hoping and fighting for that. So, but it didn't happen. But if you are on the webinar, I am going to show you something, because we're going to go over the compensation plan. Yeah, I know. Finally. So get a piece of paper if you're on the telephone, and a writing utensil, a crayon, a charcoal stick, a paintbrush, whatever you got, lipstick, it doesn't matter, just something you can write on, and a blank piece of paper. So go ahead and grab that. I'm going to turn on our screen for those of you that are in the webinar feature. Kelly, did you?
Do anything.
Help me get this. This is now locked. I was able to click on that, and it's now locked.
Sharing?
It was there. All right, folks. You know, I hate this technology nonsense. I do all this stuff before to make sure that it's working, and then all of a sudden it just disappears, stops working. It's like it knows that I'm trying to get it to work. So screen sharing. All right, let's see, started. Okay, now I need to go back and find the right page here. Oh, for heaven's sakes, it just disappeared. All right, hang on there, boys and girls. So in your paper, this is really, I'm giving everybody the chance to find a piece of paper so that they can learn how they will be paid. And so that's why I'm pretending this that it's taken me time, and I'm not stalling at all. All right, so hopefully that says that is sharing, right? Okay, it says that it just is not working like it's supposed to be working here.
Are you doing okay for a little bit?
I don't know. Okay, if anyone's there on the webinar, if you can just send me a little text and say that you can see it or not, that'd be great. It'll look like a comp plan. So, though I'm just going to continue. So I want you to draw an image of you. Just draw your name on the top of the page. And then underneath that, I want you to draw 5 images on your first.
Hello, is Laura there?
Those that are on the webinar, please mute your phone.
Laura and I got
hear you
divorced
talking.
about 10 years ago, and she died 3 years ago. Well, I'm sorry about that. Maybe you can help me. What do you want?
Honey.
We're calling from the National Police Association. The reason for the call is we're setting up for our annual social drive. The drive's going to help provide a death benefit fund to the families of officers who were killed in the line of duty.
let's try that. Let's see if that works. Okay, so on there, I want you to drive 5 people. That's your first level. And then on your second level, right beneath that, I want you to draw a third level. And on your first level, you have 5 people, and then you have 25 people on your second level, and then you have 125 people on your third. Now, this is a 3 level plan on what is the first bonus. On your very first month, so up on your first level off to the right of where you wrote 5 people, write 45%, and then write 20% next to that. What that means is that you will make 45% on their order in the very first month. And then you'll make 20% every month thereafter. Now, remember when I told you when the thing started that we're going to do a comp plan that was unlike other comp plans that are out in the marketplace. And I wanted to really empower the everyday marketer. I wanted to really empower the non-professional network marketer. And I don't have anything against the professional network marketer, but they don't need as much help as someone that has never done it before or has never had great success in it. And so I wanted to eliminate many of the barriers. One of the barriers is they don't make enough percentage right up front. If I can get you to make money right out of the gate, what does that do for you? The same thing it does for every person that you invite to get into your business. You see, if we can make them money, that means it's going to make you money. And that's a good business model, which, for heaven's sakes, that means that's good for me too. That means that I'm making more product because you're making money and you won't quit. Part of this was inspired out of the fact that a multi-billion-dollar MLM paid $1 million to a survey company to go out and determine amongst all of their distributors, they have well over 1 million of them, how much do they need to make monthly in order for them to never quit? So it was a survey going out to all of them asking them, what do we have to do? How much money do you have to make so you never quit? And the answers came back it was just over $500. So $500 means they'll never quit. So my goal became then, I wanted to build a plan that got you to make $500 as fast as possible and as easy as possible. And then that can be duplicated so that everyone that you bring in won't quit either, because we want to get them to $500. That's one of the reasons that you'll see that I will encourage you to go to a matrix of 5 people. Now, most people in the MLM world will say, well, no, do a multiple of 2, maybe 3, that's it. And the reason why they base that on those numbers is because the industry average is that each person that gets into the business, on average, will only enroll 2.1 people their whole entire existence in that business. Not in their first month, the whole time they're there. Well, this is not the same. We are breaking so many rules of the MLM world that I don't think that those rules will apply to us. I think that we'll set new standards. Now, I'm going to tell you some numbers a little later that proves that very point. Matter of fact, I'll tell them right now. So in Merv's group, you guys are pretty amazing. This isn't a pre-launch, for heaven's sakes. You don't even have all the tools. You don't have a website. Up to now, you didn't even know what the comp plan is. It took you longer than what you expected to receive the product. Holy cow, if we were selling products down at the brick and mortar store, we'd already been out of business because of customer dissatisfaction. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for understanding it was during pre-launch. But in spite of that, within a 30-day period of time, the people that Merv enrolled, there was a multiple of 2.5, not 2.1. And that's the first month. The first month. That's amazing. do you know what that's going to mean for when we have all the tools in place? That is phenomenal. And so I have no doubt that that people will be able to accomplish that 5 by 5 by 5 metrics, simply because one, it's a meal replacement program. Hopefully everybody has gone to the YouTube page and watched the video that talks about you can't afford not to be on 3 Believe, taking the product. It talks about very simply, I lay it out exactly how much the average American spends on sit-down restaurants. I go through, these are hard fact numbers from agencies that know all these details, how much we spend on fast food on a daily basis, how much we spend when we make food from scratch at home, and how much we spend on snacks, things like chips and coffee and pop and bubble gum and popcorn, and add it all together, and the cost of that minus the cost of what you're exchanging or you're replacing with the 3 Believe program, and it's costing you $60 a month. Now, many of you eat more than the average as far as eating out, so the plan's already saving you money. And the whole illustration of that video is to show you that you don't have to enroll 5 or 10 people for you to break even. You enroll 1 person. Now, that 1 person is based on the $300 or the phase 1. But what if you have to enroll someone that's on the phase 4? Yeah, 2 people. 2 people, and you're paid for. In fact, you enroll 2 people the very first month because of the 45% as illustrated here, and that covers your cost. So that's pretty empowering. That's a pretty cool plan. So I encourage you to watch that video and understand it well. Yes, there will be printed material that you'll be able to have, and you'll be able to hand it out in card form and email it to people. So, but I want you to understand that concept because it's so very important. So you're already breaking the rules of the industry. That's why we did the matrix of 5. So let's go on to the next one. So level 2 now is 5%. Now what that means is that you enroll the guys on the front level, okay, and you can go wider than 5. You don't have to stay with 5. You can go as wide as you want. We don't have any balancing legs. Whatever you enroll, you get paid on. You don't have to have matching volume, none of that nonsense. That's just kind of crazy business in my opinion. So you don't have to worry about that. And then the people on your first level enroll someone. They get 45% the very first month, so you don't make anything. But the next month you make 5%. And then on your third level, all the people on the second level enroll someone, and you'll make 10% the second month. Now, why did I go 5-10? Now, if you look at every other plan, they start out with 3%, 4% on the first level, and they'll do maybe 4%, then they'll do, most plans will do like an 8% on the first level, and then 8 again, and then they'll go a 7, and then they'll do a 6, and a 6, and then a 5, and a 5. Why do they diminish the percentage as you go deeper where all the people are? It's almost like they don't want you to be able to share in that large coffer of money. That just doesn't make any sense to me. So I flip-flopped it, turned it upside down, and I ramped up that first level really, really high. Gave you that fast start money. But why did I make it 5% on the second level and then 10% on the third? Because the reality is that most of your growth is going to be on that third level versus the second level, and I want you to make more money. So a veteran in the business that came in and with again a multi-billion-dollar company said that they thought that if they had that kind of a plan, it would have made all the difference in the world for their group. He thought that was brilliant. So that was encouraging to hear. So I'm going to zoom this up a little. That's too much. I'm going to zoom up the screen a little bit. We're going to go down and then talk about what these numbers mean. So on your paper, I'm going to do some math for you on paper. So your first level, you have 5. 5 times 300 is $1,500. So you get 45% of that 1,500, almost half. And then the second month, you get 20% of that 1,500 every month, every single month. That's empowering. The next one is 300 times 25 people. That's $7,500 a group. You get 5% of that. And then the next group is you do 300 times 125 people, because that's a multiple of 5 of the 25, and that's 37,500. Now, you've been into business long enough to know that metrics never works that way. And it doesn't. And I agree, it does never work that way. I think it's going to work more. I think that people actually will do more than a multiple of 5, simply because we're dealing with foundational food. They can't live without food. And so many people can't live without feeling healthy. And after they understand the economics through the video that I showed you, they can afford not to be on the program. I think that these numbers will be even greater. So I'm really, really excited. You just pencil out the numbers that I just gave you and see what those multiples will be. I'm going to go down a little bit lower, because now I'm going to show you what we have is called a generational bonus. Because what about you talking to somebody and they are a big player in somebody else's business? How do you get them to come over? Because they're going to come and go, well, I'm not too excited about just 3, because all my people, I have 30,000 people, but they're all below my 10th or 20th level. That's what the generational bonus is. So now on just down below, right, generate G1, I call it, you get paid 3% on the entire group's volume from your 4th level and higher. So 4th, 5th, and 6th down to 100th level. Your only qualification is that, and this is the only qualification, if you notice that up above you didn't have any volume qualifications. You didn't have to match. That's unique in the industry. That makes it easy for you to get other people in. The only qualification for the bonus, and you can make lots of money. Merv told you about the money that he made in his first, and he didn't get anything of the generational bonus yet. So on the generational bonus, I'm just doing some quick math, pardon me. So of that, you're going to get 3% of the entire group's volume, regardless of how deep it goes. That is that's pretty impressive once you start doing those numbers and seeing how big that number is. So when you first qualify, you just take 3% of 150,000, which is the group volume, and that would be how much money you'd make. So your qualification is 5,000 PE, which is personal enrollment. Okay, and then you that's requirement per month. Okay, so you have to have $5,000 of people that you've sponsored. You want to keep you active, and then 150,000. Now you've seen some plans where the qualification is say 50,000. Why is mine so much bigger? Well, partly because we're paying so much in the first level, and 2, if it's really super easy for you to qualify for the generational bonus, I mean, it'll be really easy for you to be unqualified because of the people that you enroll underneath you. So you want to make it a little bit of work, right? And so let's talk about the legitimacy or the odds of you qualifying for 150,000 in your group. Let me give you an example. Merv doesn't even know this. So after his first month of doing business, he's 20% of his way into qualifying for that group volume in 1 month. Is this possible for you to qualify? Absolutely. Absolutely. We haven't even launched yet, and he's almost a quarter of the way there. That's powerful. Now, once someone knocks you out, because they now, if they're down below you, they're going to be part of that volume, that 150,000. they're going to take away from that 150,000, and then you'll have to, build another group. That's the reason why you might want to go a little bit wider than just 5. But that's why I did a G2, which is also another 3%. The personal enrollment is still the same, just $5,000 worth, but the group volume is 350. So now you can see that you can qualify and have large, deep groups. This will attract big players into the business. So you don't have to be a big player to get the interest of another company. When they start seeing the size of your group and how much money they're making, because if their frontline soldiers, so to speak, are making good money, then that means that they can pull their people over and they'll be able to keep intact their group. This is pretty powerful. So I hope you're kind of excited about this. These other illustrations are just remunerations of the same thing. Now, we're going to offer something else that's kind of cool, because I want you to be friends, I want you to be mentors, I want you to help one another. So in this illustration that if you're on the webinar, what this means is that the red person is representing your personal sponsor. So you sponsor someone and you can put him anywhere, or her, not to be sexist, you can place them anywhere you want. So in reality, you really have 2 different trees. You'll have a enrollment tree genealogy, and then you'll have a placement genealogy. One represents where you put them in your group, and you could put somebody on your 50th level if you wanted. You still get your 20%, your 5%, and your 10% on that person. But what that does is that helps anyone in your group that you want to reward, or someone that you want to work with, and someone that you think works great with someone else. That's how you can build your organization. You do it, that'll teach other people to do it, and that will keep the group alive. It won't then have this competitive nature within your own family. That's empowering. Now, that's not the only company that's ever done that, but they've never been able to do this with all the other features that we've had. So that's a very excellent business building tool. Here's another one. We're going to have the opportunity that the reality is that you want to help people, right? So if I enrolled you, and let's say that I'm a great salesman. I know my craft, I'm good at it, I'm a smooth talker, I got funny jokes, I got nice hair, and you're not quite as polished, but you got some great people. And so you ask me to help you get them enrolled. Essentially, your contact gets me on the phone with them and I close them. In those situations, we have what is called shared commission. You get to choose whether both of you have to agree. All you do is just check the box. Both of you have to check the box, and that means that you'll share the commission on that person. We do it in our back office. You don't have to do it amongst yourselves, and it only counts for that one person. So if I enrolled you and you knew Callie, and Callie's a big go-getter. You love Callie. She's done great things in other businesses, but she wants to talk to somebody that's been in the business a little longer. So I go and talk with her, and I get her in. We place her wherever you want, and we split the commission. But just on Callie, whoever she enrolls, you get it all, as if it was your own sponsor. So now the mentor doesn't have to feel like he or she's spending all their time building their organization and they don't get any personal sponsorships. Now, half of that person's volume will count towards your qualification for the other bonuses. You bet they will. So, for example, in the generational bonus, half of that revenue will count towards your $5,000 requirement. I really love this model. Hopefully you see the leverage of it, the power of it, so here's a little illustration. This map that I have on screen is not perfect yet, but I just really wanted to get something so that you could see it. I'll finish up with the artist on it. I'll email it out to everybody so you see it. But folks, I hope that you're as excited as I am. I hope that you spent some time going over these numbers, because I got to tell you, the pros in the business, and I'm not a pro in the network marketing business, they're telling me they've never seen anything like this. This is very, very big, very, very empowering, and I hope that you see the vision in it as well. I hope you brought your water with you on the webinar. I need to take a little bit of a sip. You take one too. Hydrate. Wonderful water. Gotta love it. So I pretty much don't have anything else to say. I've talked myself silly. I'm hoping that you're excited. This is some cool stuff, and I'm enriched and edified, and I hope that that it has been shared amongst all of you. So I think I just turned.
Are you open for a question?
Okay, I'm back on. So I'm going to take off mute Mr. Merv. Here, *6. All right. Can you hear me, Merv? Well, you know, you say that a couple of times, and I appreciate your encouragement. I just hope that one of these times I don't ever come to the end and you say, Jason, that was just an awful call. So I'll try to keep from falling into that category. I know that there'll be a lot of questions on things like on the compensation plan. So don't hesitate to send that information out through email. I'll spend more time talking with Merv so he can answer those for you if you happen to call him on the phone. But do you have any quick questions? We have, it's 7:49.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. So it's very soon. We're actually excuse me, in the testing mode, so it's functional enough that we're getting some testing stuff done. If we can break it right away, we know that we got to fix those. I don't want to just throw out a completely broken website, but I will not wait until it's been truly tested, and that's where I asked you to break it. And don't be impatient with it. We're partners in this process, and I need your input. So that's why I'm giving it to you earlier than, say, Microsoft would when they sell their software, because you're part of my test team. So yes, very soon. I know I've been saying it, but yes, we are.
Hello, Jason? Can you hear me?
Boy, I sure wish they would. I've already made a whole section in the website, and what a great marketing tool. I'm telling you, folks, I can't tell you the power of the testimonies, what it'll do for your business. So send them in. It will help you. It'll help each other. And the more the merrier. Every single person that bought the protocol should be given some testimony. It doesn't have to be the same one. It doesn't have to be I lost 25, 30 pounds. It can just be I improved my sleep. One about their dog feels wonderful. It's out chasing cars again. It could be about your digestive being better. So many things that you can get the benefit. So please, I'm begging you, send in your testimonies.
Can you hear me?
All right. So any other, I thank you very much for your patience and your time that you share with me. We'll have the webinar available for a recording for any of those that want to watch it. But I hope you're excited about our comp plan. I'm thrilled about it. And we'll talk to you soon. For this evening, I say goodbye and good health. And good night.